Let us start, Alan. Ranjan, switch on the video. Okay.
Good morning to all. Today I'll be taking seminar on input units. Input units. What is input units? An input unit is a piece of equipment used to provide data and control signals to an information processing system such as a computer or information appliance. The input unit comprises input devices attached to the computer. These devices accept input from the user and convert it into binary form that can be understood by the computer. Types of input units. There are many types of input units, but we'll be discussing 6 of them. First one is barcode reader. Second, the QR code reader, biometric sensors, touchscreen, microphone, and then the webcam. Barcode reader. A barcode is a collection or a sequence of lines of different heights and widths that are printed on various types of products. The machine that reads these barcodes is called barcode reader. It consists of a light source, a lens, and a light sensor, which translates the optical impulses into electrical signals. The main advantage of using a barcode system is that the price change only needs to be made to the database and not every single product package. QR code reader. QR code is an abbreviation for quick response code. It is a special kind of barcode that anybody can scan with a smartphone app that usually directs the user to the user to the website. A QR code consists of black squares arranged in a square grid on a white background, which can be read by an image device such as a camera. The advantages of QR codes are fast information retrieval. We can get the information just by scanning the QR code. Biometric sensors. It is an input device that is used to uniquely identify a person on the basis of his physical or behavioral traits. Biometric sensors can scan human characteristics such as eyes, fingerprints, and DNA with the help of sensors. It is commonly used to mark attendance of employees, students in organizations or institutes. It is also popular as a security device to provide restricted entry to secured areas. Touchscreen. A touchscreen is the assembly of both an input and output device. The touch panel is normally laid on top of an electronic visual display of an information processing system. The display often is LCD or OLED display, while the system is usually a laptop, tablet, or smartphone. A user can give input or control the information processing system by touching the screen with the finger. Touch screens are also found in ATMs and are also used at shopping malls and airports. Advantages of using touchscreen is it is easy to use and it don't need much training. Disadvantages is that not suitable for inputting large amount of data and not very accurate. Selecting detailed objects can be difficult with fingers. and it's also very robust. Microphone. A microphone is a device that converts sound into an electrical signal. Microphones are used in many appliances such as telephones, hearing aids, public address systems for public events, etc. They are also used in computers for recording voice, calling, etc. Several types of microphones are used today. Among that, the common one is the uh, which several types of microphones are used today, which employ different methods to convert the air pressure variations of sound waves to an electrical signal. The most common are the dynamic microphone, which uses a coil of wire suspended in a magnetic field. Yeah, its advantages are it allows you to choose voice recognition software, video conference, etc. The disadvantages of microphone is that it can be damaged easily. And the last one is webcam. A webcam is a video camera that is connected to the computer. It captures still pictures as well as videos, and with the help of a software, it can transmit them in real time. Webcams are typically small cameras that sit on a desk, attached to a user's monitor, or are built into the hardware. A webcam does not have any built-in storage. Instead, it always uses the computer hard drive as its storage. Thank you.
Okay, Alan. Your PPT with good pictures is very nice, but you want to interact with your friends. Okay. You ask some questions based on your topic. Otherwise, they don't understand, they don't listen your seminar. Oh, anyone have any doubt with this topic? All the terms are related with our normal life. I think all this topic is very familiar with all of you, isn't it? Okay. Any doubt? So interaction section is very compulsory. Okay. Interactive section is very compulsory in seminar. Okay. Today, no problem, Alan. Next day onwards. Okay. I will ask question. What is the full form of QR code? Anyone?
Quick response.
Yes, Niranjan. That's correct. Then what is LED? Oh, what is the main point related with storage related point in webcam? Anyone? Can we store the details in webcam? Is it possible, Tom?
No, ma'am, it has an external hard drive.
Your mic is not in good condition. Dia? John Joss?
Webcam does not have its own storage.
Little more louder, John.
Webcam does not have its own storage.
Then how we store the pictures accessed by webcam?
CPU files.
The system that is connected to webcam, then that system we store the data accessed through webcam. Okay. Okay, good, Alan. So Naurin, then Pooja, Jewel, Monday. Okay.
I am also there.
Which topic, Niranjan?
Output. Yeah.
Output. Then Niranjan and Jewel, you take the seminar on next Monday. Okay, not next Monday, after vacation. Okay. So this Monday, Naurin and Pooja. Okay. Okay, Naurin, Pooja. Okay. So we'll continue with the topic data types. So the last topic we discussed is complex numbers. Okay. So what happened to my PPT? Okay. So the last data type, it is complex numbers. You can represent complex number in the form of x plus yj. What is the last question? Niranjan, read the last question. Read the last question. 1 minus 2 question. Negative value, complex number.
Yeah, ma'am. Y
Ah.
equal to 4 minus 2.
One
Z.
second, 1 second. Which is equal to y.
Y
Y is equal to
4 minus 2.
4 minus 2y. Here the question is 4 minus 2y. Which is the real part and which is the imaginary part? What is the form of complex number? It is x plus yj. So here plus is there, but it will represent it like this, 4 minus 2y. John Philip, what is the real value and imaginary value here?
4 is real and 2 is imaginary.
4 is correct, but 2, it is negative 2. Okay, so we can rewrite this equation as y is equal to 4 plus minus 2y. Okay, it is in the form of not 2y, it is 2j. Okay, so if there is a question like this, 4 minus 2y, our complex number representation is in the form of plus x plus yj. So you want to rewrite this equation for getting the correct answer, or you can just write the answer without rewriting. I will just rewrite this equation, that is 4 plus our form, it is x plus yj. So first write x value, it is 4, then write plus, then minus 2y. That is plus into minus is minus, no? So there is no change if we use 1 plus or if we use minus 2j. Okay. So 4 minus 2y, we can rewrite as 4 plus minus 2y, 2j. It is not j, y, that is j. Okay. So it is 4 minus 2j. Rewrite this equation like this, 4 plus minus 2j. Then what is the imaginary value? It is minus 2. Is it clear? Write one more question. Z is equal to 55 minus 65j. Write the print statement to print real and imaginary value, and also write the output. All of you switch on the video. Renil, Alan, Rahul, G, all of you switch on the video. Okay, Renil. Rahul, G, Sanaga, switch on the video. Anaga, read the answer. First read the print statement and output.
Ma'am, I was not present in the first class.
Okay, what happened, Anaga?
But didn't notice the change, the new timetable.
Oh. Okay, okay. Now we need
Yes, ma'am.
read the print statement.
Z dot real print Z dot real
Print z dot real, comma,
Z dot imag.
z dot imag. Print z dot real, comma, z dot imag. Rahul, read the output. Rahul,
Ma'am, I was not there last class.
it's not clear, Rahul. Okay, Alan, read the output.
Ma'am, y equal to 4 plus minus.
What? This question. 55 minus 65J.
I'm adding 2.
Pooja, read the answer.
55.0
Hmm.
minus 65.0.
Correct, Pooja. John is absent in the previous class. Jeez. Jeez. Okay, Tom, why it is 55.0 and 65.0? Here the value is 55 and 65. No, why? Here it is minus 65. Okay, Pooja? Pooja, the answer is minus 65.0. Okay. Tom, why it is 55.0 and minus 65.0? Some problem in your mic. Joel?
It has a part float in that.
What? What, Joel?
Ma'am, that complex numbers is having float, integer, float and real number.
Yes, okay. In a real and imaginary part, the default data type used in complex number is float. So if we are using one integer value, then also if we want to print real value, then the real value it is 55.0. And in the case of imaginary also, in the question we are using minus 65. But when we print this imaginary value, the answer is like a float number, that is minus 65.0. Okay, is it clear, John Joss? Okay, so that is complex number. So the next one it is, so complex number means number that is in the form of x plus yj, where x is the real part and y is the imaginary part, and x and y, but the default data type it is float. Okay, x and y, the default data type it is float. Okay, then for printing the real and imaginary value, we use print statement along with z dot real, the name of variable dot real, comma, name of variable dot imag. For printing imaginary value, we are using imag. For real value printing, we use real. So z dot real and z dot imag. Okay. So the next data type it is string. Not okay, string. What is string? I think we already discussed that string, same as that of string literal. That is, a string is a sequence of characters that can be a combination of letters, numbers, and special symbols enclosed within quotation marks, single or double or triple. We are commonly used the single or double. Single and double, single quotes or double quotes are commonly used for representing this string. Okay. Triple single quotes is rarely used in Python. Okay. A string is a sequence of characters. In that sequence of characters, we can include letters, numbers, and special symbols. Okay. String means it's a sequence of characters, but in that sequence of characters, we can include letters, numbers, and special symbols. Okay, I will write one example. Here, one example is there. Hello, Python. Here we are using a space. So that space is also considered as a string. Okay, then I will write another one. It is 34. If you write 34, without double quotes or single quotes, that means it's one integer value. Okay. But if we are representing this 34 with double quotes or single quotes, that means 34 is a string value. Okay. After writing this statement, if I give a statement like this, type of, what is the use of this type function? Any idea? No. Anyone? We discussed this type function in your class. I have a confusion with IP and CS. That's why I'm asking. Is this function is discussed in your class? Say yes or no. No. Okay, okay, okay. So this type function. Okay, so if we write some values within double quotes or single quotes, that is string. If we represent one integer value in single quotes or double quotes, then also it is this 34 is considered as a string, because here we are using this 34 within double quotes. Okay. This set of integer value 34 is one integer number, but if we are using a 34 within single quotes or double quotes, the interpreter will identify this 34 as a string. Okay, then another one, star hash. This is another string. Okay, or we can use AB2 star. This is another string. Okay. So a string means sequence of characters. Within that sequence of characters, we can include letters, numbers, and special symbols which are enclosed within single quotation marks or double quotation mark or triple quotation mark. Okay. Then next it is traversing a list. Traversing a list means accessing all elements of the string one after the other by using the index value. What is index value? So here I'm using one string, that is hello. Okay. In this string, each and every characters in the string has its own positional value. That positional value is known as index of that string. Okay. In a string, for identifying each characters in a string, we use one integer value. That integer value is known as index of that string. Okay, the index value, there are two types of index value: forward indexing and backward indexing. According to string, every character in string is identified by a number. That number is known as index. For giving name to each and every character in a string, we are using a number. That number is known as index. In string, there are mainly two types of indexing: forward indexing and backward indexing. Forward indexing is starting from 0. That is, first character number is 0, second character number is 1, third character number is 2, fourth it is 3, fifth it is 4. So here the starting for forward indexing from 0 to 0, 1, 2, 3, that is forward indexing. So starting value is 0 and the end value is total number of characters, minus 1. Okay, 0 to total number of characters minus 1. How many characters are there, John Joss, in this word? Hello? How many
5.
characters are there? 5. So the last value it is 5 minus 1. It is 4. Okay. Is it clear now, Navneet? Okay. So hello is a string. String means sequence of characters. To represent each and every character in a string, we are using a number. That number is known as index. That is a name or identity given to each and every character of a string, that is index. For naming these characters, we are using two methods: forward indexing or backward indexing. All of you switch on the video. Forward indexing and backward indexing. Forward indexing is starting from 0 and the last value it is total number of characters minus 1. Here 5 characters are there. So 5 minus 1 it is 4. First value it is 0. 0, second value 1, third it is 2, fourth it is 3, then last one it is 4. Okay. Then in the case of backward indexing, we can use either forward indexing or backward indexing. Okay. The case of for backward indexing, it is starting from the last value. Okay. Here forward indexing starting from the naming, starting from the first value, and the first value it is 0. Here in the case of backward indexing, it is started from last value and the first value it is minus 1. So last character name it is minus 1, next character it is minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, last value it is minus 5. Okay. So in the case of backward indexing, it is backward indexing. So we are starting from the back of the string, that is last character of the string. Okay. So here the last character is, it is O. The name of O, the number that is used to represent this O, it is minus 1. Backward indexing is starting from minus 1. Forward indexing is starting from 0. Okay. So for naming each and every character in a string, we are using index value. The name of that number is known as index. Okay. Then for naming this character, we are using two methods: forward indexing or backward indexing. The commonly used indexing method it is forward indexing. Then we can use backward indexing also. Okay. The case of forward indexing, the values are started from the first character of the string, and the value of the first character is 0. Then 1, 2, 3. Last value it is total number of character minus 1. Then in the case of backward indexing, it is started from the last character. The indexing is starting from last character. Here the last character is O. So the value always, in the case of backward indexing, the value is always started from -1. So the value of 0, O it is -1, L it is -2, L it is -3, E it is -4, H it is -5. Is it clear? Indexing. Okay. Then I will give another string. You just mark the forward indexing and backward indexing for that string. Okay. The string, it is welcome. Welcome Python. One space is there. Okay. Use forward and backward indexing. Welcome Python, and there is one space in between this welcome and Python. Okay. Devasena, it's time of our period, it is 3:40. Okay, Devasena went. Dia, read the answer, Dia. Rahul, read the answer. I can't hear you, Rahul. What happened to your mic? Okay, Anaga, read the answer, Anaga.
Ma'am, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 until 13.
0 for which character, Anaga?
For W.
Okay. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is the value of P? P?
8. Do we
Yes,
give
correct. 8. 8 is the correct answer because 7 is for space. Okay. One space is there between this welcome and Python. So 7 index is for space. Then 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 is the last value. Is it correct, Niranjan? Okay. Then Tom, your mic is not in good condition. So Jewel, read the backward indexing values.
N's value is -1.
Then from which character?
From last.
-1 is for which character?
N.
N. Okay, correct. So -1.
Then -2, -3, -4.
Then last value for W
is 13.
is 13. So what is the value of P, Jewel?
It is 6.
6. -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. Okay, then what is E?
8, 9, 10, 11,
-9,
13.
-10, -11, -12, -13. What happened here? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Ma'am, E is -8, right?
Yes. After 7, here -7. E is -8. Okay. Here space is -7, E -8, then -9, -10, -11 for C, -12 for L, -13 for E, -14 for W. Okay, Jewel?
Okay, ma'am.
Total 14 characters are there. So we are starting from -1. So the last value is -4. In the case of forward indexing, we are starting from 0. So the last value is total character -1. Here the total number of characters is 14. So 14 minus 1, it is 13. That's why here the last value is 13. But in the case of backward indexing, we are starting from -1. So the last value is -14. Is it clear, Jewel?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And also remember, you want to give index value for space also. Okay. So index means the integer value or number that is given for each and every character in a string. So for giving a number for a string, we are using two indexing methods, forward indexing and backward indexing. Forward indexing means 0 to total number of character -1, starting from the first character of the string. Okay, starting from W onwards. W to last value. So 0 to n-1. N is the total number of characters present in the string. Then the case of backward indexing, the indexing naming started from last character, that is n, and the first value it is -1. -1, -2, -3, just like that. Okay. Is it
Ma'am,
clear?
can you show that PPT slide?
Okay, okay. So traversing a list. Traversing a list means accessing all elements of the string one after the other by using the index value. Okay, accessing all elements of the string, that is, we can access H, then E, then L, then O, just like that. We can access each and every element in a string. That method is known as traversing a list. When we learn about the for loop and while loop, we study how we can traverse through a string. Okay. Now we just study only about what is traversing. Okay. Traversing means we can just go through each and every character in a string. That is traversing. Just traveling through all the characters in the string. Accessing all elements of the string one after the other by using the index value. Here, what is index value? Index value means the number given for each and every character in a string. There are two types of index. Here, positive index and negative index. The other name it is forward index. Negative index means backward index. Okay. Two index values, that is positive index and negative index. Positive index is also known as forward index. Negative index is also known as backward index. And the indexing method is known as forward indexing or positive indexing, negative indexing or backward indexing. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is string. Based on string, string means it's a set of characters. Then in that set of characters, we can include letters, numbers, and special symbols. In the case of special symbol, we can include space also. Okay. Then the case of example, it is, these are the examples. Within double quotes, I'm writing one word or two words with space. And within double quotes, one integer number, and within double quotes, two special characters. These all are examples of strings. And traversing a list. Traversing a list means instead of list, you just write string. Traversing a string. Traversing a string means accessing all elements of the string. That is, each and every character we can access from the string using this index value. Index value means integer number represented for a character in a string. There are two index values, are the positive index or forward index, negative index or backward index. Okay. Then write the points related with escape sequences. I will explain this in the next class. Okay. Just write the points related with escape sequence. escape sequence. Python allows us to represent a string constituting non-graphic characters. Non-graphic characters are those characters which cannot be directly typed from the keyboard, such as backspace, tab space, carriage return, etc. These non-graphic characters are represented by using escape sequences. An escape sequence is a non-printable character represented by a backslash followed by one or more characters. One